Hello everyone, it is Jason from The Awkward Pause. Today we are talking about another key reason why it's important to practice compassionate communication. If you enjoy content about healthy relationships, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and share this video. Here at The Awkward Pause, we talk about people having default settings. Think of these as a mix of behavioral patterns shaped by your past experiences and your childhood. They're often how you've acted in relationships, kind of mixed in with whatever trauma or hurt or pain or brokenness that you may still carry. The ways you tend to react, especially when you're not in a good headspace. For example, when I am not in a good place, when I'm not listening well, I'm not practicing nonviolent communication, I default to guy mode. Someone shares something with me and I jump into problem solving mode. And I'm not even really a fixer by nature, but it's what I do when I don't have any framework for a conversation. And as every husband knows, it rarely makes anyone feel heard or cared for. When I'm really hurting, when I'm emotionally drained, I might default to subtext in my language, passive-aggressive quips underneath my words that is hurtful. I'll emotionally distance myself. I like to debate simply for the sake of debating without even considering how what I'm saying may affect the other person. These are all old habits. They're remnants of my old nature before Christ, and they're ultimately very harmful. And this is why I am committed, I'm going to emphasize this, to practicing NVC, because I want to replace these toxic habits with new, healthier ones. I do not want to keep falling back into these old ways of communicating. And I want to stress that this is a process. I've come a long way, even in the past 2 to 3 years of practicing compassionate communication, but I have a long way to go. A lot of these patterns are deeply ingrained, and undoing them requires a lot of repetition and a lot of effort and energy. This isn't like I took a course and I now magically know how to communicate in every situation. Real growth happens by practicing these new communication habits again and again and again and again and again. So to finish up, we have 2 questions for you guys. What are your default settings? Maybe when you're just feeling average, you're just feeling okay. Secondly, what are your default settings when you're really hurt? If you have a friend who is good at honest feedback, ask them if there are any ways that you communicate that feel unhealthy or unhelpful. You could even start a list on one side of a piece of paper with, okay, here are kind of my old unhealthy communication patterns that I'm really not happy and pleased with. On the other side of the piece of paper, write down, this is what I want to replace them with. I want to replace listening so it's my turn to talk to listening with empathy so the other person feels heard and understood. This type of intentionality will help you become a better listener and a more compassionate communicator. That's it for today. Thanks as always for listening, and we'll see you in the next video.